This is The Wheel Weaves, a Wheel of Time podcast with no spoilers. Hey everyone, I'm your host Dani, and I'm the first-time reader going through this series chapter by chapter. As always, there's no spoilers past the chapter we're covering, and that means it's totally safe for first-time readers. I'm joined by my co-host Brett, who's a longtime fan, and he's guiding me on this journey. We'd like to thank and acknowledge our executive producers, Brandy and Erik Kirkwood, Sean McGuire, Yanis, LightBlindedFool, Green Man, Deyvis Ferreira, Margaret, Big C, Bennett Williamson, Dylan C, Hannah Green, Noralia, Jordan Gower, Geof Searles, Erik Reed, Greysin Ishara, Ashlee Bradley, and Laura Lewis. We'd also like to thank and shout out some annual patrons who renewed their pledge this month. So thank you so much to LightBlindedFool and Seraquel for their second year in a row contribution, and Cathrine and Gatorbait for their third year in a row contribution. Thank you so much for your generosity and your continued support. It really, truly means so much to us. We also want to welcome Laura Lewis back to our executive producer team. And before we get into things today, we just want to thank and welcome Mike Schroeder and Travis Hulkey to the Wheel Weaves Patreon team. Thank you so much for your generosity and your support. We really, truly appreciate it. In this episode, we are talking about chapters 13 and 14 of The Gathering Storm.
Yeah, chapter 13 is an offer and a departure, and chapter 14 is a box opens.
Yeah, very literal chapter titles.
Yes,
this
we are
time
going
round.
for that. Yep.
Yeah.
You're right. And how about Gawin?
You know,
Love him.
It feels as though he's made a decision.
It does. It was the decision.
Because he certainly is wrought with indecision. So.
Yeah, we'll talk about it when we get there, but bad news. Bad news first. I think I'm finally going to have to leave a 1-star review for a Wheel of Time book.
Oh, no.
Yeah. Well, yeah, you saw.
Is it because the page fell out of your book?
The page ripped out of my book. And it had nothing to do with the fact that I dropped it, then tried to catch it by the page, and then it ripped.
Oh,
But here's the kicker, is I tried to tape it back into the book.
Yeah.
And you know how tape is sometimes when it just like falls down before you want it to go down?
Oh, no.
And then
everything
it stuck to the
about
page.
This is horrible.
I tried to pull it up, and then the words started peeling
No,
off. So I had to
can't.
leave. So not only is it tape back in, there's like extra tape just like on the page.
Good.
Trying to realign the words.
Good.
It's not great, and you can see clearly which page is the one.
Yeah, and that's clearly the book's fault. 1-star review of The Gathering Storm.
No thanks.
Pages rip out too easily.
Right. Not secure. Not
secure enough.
Yep.
Too little glue in the binding. That's what I'm hearing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree. Because it ripped from the binding, not halfway through the page.
Right.
Like, yeah.
Okay.
Good.
You want to talk about Gawin or?
Before we do that, fun fact: it's a little bit about Gawin, but mostly about Heron-mark swords and blade masters.
Ooh.
I thought that was kind of cool. Yeah. Okay, so number one, I couldn't find any real world parallels of marking blades with symbols to denote the level of skill that the person has that's wielding it.
Okay.
It's kind of like a martial arts belt, I think. Right,
okay.
In the context, like, black belt, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
But I actually...
That denotes your skill level?
Yeah.
Yes.
I honestly, I don't really, and I don't think I ever have really understood why you want your opponents to know how good you are. Like that part, like maybe there's an honor thing. We can talk about that too when we get there.
For sure, honor. And also like, ooh.
Don't mess with me.
Don't mess with me.
Yeah.
And someone might be like, oh, I don't want to mess with you.
I was going to fight you, but now I only get
not.
the best people who want to prove themselves to fight me. Like, what?
Yeah, and if they kill me, they just take my sword.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So anyways, that's besides the point. I did find some interviews about Herons and Blade Masters, though, with Robert Jordan. So, First off, why the Heron as the mark for the sword? So there's an interview from 2001. Someone asked RJ, why the Heron? And he said, I chose the Heron because it's a quick, supple, and to its prey, very deadly bird. It's the perfect avian simile for a swordsman. So,
sure.
Cool. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, sometimes you might think like, background
maybe
mythology.
I should get a heron tattoo.
You could do that.
Because I'm scared of birds.
Sure.
So it'd be like, take that, birds.
Right.
You know?
Don't mess with me.
I'm conquering my fear by getting one on me.
I'm not doing the same with my fears. Okay?
No?
No,
not a big spider?
Nope.
Tattooed
or a
on
little
you?
one. Nope, neither.
But a picture of a bird doesn't scare me. It's the birds that scare
Sure.
me. I once abandoned our child at the zoo when a peacock got too close.
Yeah.
He was in the stroller and I just took off. I was like, nope.
Yeah? And in the time when there was a big spider who got away and then I moved.
Oh.
Unrelated, of course, but a little bit related.
Good.
Okay, so now in regards to Blade Masters, there's a bit of controversy we're going to talk about here. So we learned the specifics on how to become a Blade Master back in Knife of Dreams.
We did.
When Galad faced off against Valda. Do you remember how you become a Blade Master?
I know a couple ways.
Sure, okay,
I don't know if it's all of them.
Okay.
You kill one.
Okay.
You kill a Blade Master.
Okay.
And then you get his sword, and now you're a Blade Master.
Okay. Okay, sort of.
And then, what do you mean?
No, keep going.
Like you beat one.
Okay, no, I get what you're saying. Yeah, keep going, though.
Okay. And another way is you test your skills in front of a panel.
Yeah.
And then they go, yeah, you can have one of these.
Or no.
Or nah. You can't. Yeah or nah.
Yeah. Okay, so that you're pretty much right. So 5 Blade Masters have to sit in judgment of the skills and vote unanimously to grab the title.
That feels a little more like the black belt situation.
A little bit.
Because that's done in front of a panel who decides if your skills are good enough and then you get your belt uppage.
So with this, the vote always has to be unanimous. But then the other way that we learned was you have to kill the bearer of the Heron-mark blade in fair combat one-on-one. So you can't just shoot a guy with a bow from behind and be like, haha,
I'm a Blade
Master.
Although if you take it. And I mean, in the case of Rand, you become a Blades Master by just...
Blade. Just one.
Blade Master.
Blade
Master.
Yeah.
I'm the Master of Blades.
That's the Sea Folk.
What?
The Sea Folk literally have a Master of Blades. That's a position.
Okay.
Okay, anyways, yeah. You didn't remember that?
I
thought you were...
Okay,
anyway, no, that's a thing too. Yeah.
My joke was that Rand's just going to take one.
Right.
Even though he didn't even remotely earn it, and everyone thinks he's a Blade Master.
Okay, so here's the controversy.
Yeah.
So, back from 1997, there was an interview where someone asked Robert Jordan, would Rand technically be a Blade Master since he killed the Shanshan Blade Master Turak in The Great Hunt?
That's right, yeah.
Or is there more to being a Blade Master than that? And Robert Jordan said, there's more to it than that.
No, that's not what Galad said.
Okay, that's true. You're not wrong. Then from 1998, there's a question that says, hey, just how organized is the institution of Blade Mastery, if we can call it that? I believe you hinted before that there's more to Blade Mastery than beating a Blade Master and taking a sword. And how many Blade Masters do you imagine exist in Randland at the time of the books? Just how rare is it? So Robert Jordan said, first off, rarity, fewer than 100 men in the nations that are spoken of in the books, and it's a semi-formal thing that is normally is chosen to become a Blade Master by other Blade Masters. There's no real organization. If you want to become a Blade Master, you have to find other Blade Masters who are willing to acknowledge you as an equal. So that's important too, is the acknowledgement, right? But then in this chapter with Gawin, we get that the warders bring up that Gawin killed Hamar, who was a Blade Master, in one-on-one fair combat, and so he should have taken his Heron-mark sword, basically taking the title of Blade Master for himself. But the big key difference here is that there were witnesses to Gawin killing Hamar, because a lot of people did see that event take place. A lot of people knew about it.
Right.
And here's the issue.
It wasn't like a back alley brawl.
Well, that's the issue with Rand, is that Rand facing off against Turak, there were no witnesses or reliable witnesses.
Matt and other people...
Nobody was there with him at the time, except for the servants, who then killed themselves.
I thought Matt was there and Perrin.
They were, but not during the fight with Turak.
Really?
Yeah. So that's the thing. There's no witnesses to that event.
Really?
Of Rand versus Turak.
I don't remember the Great Hunt very well.
That's okay. So here's the issue, is that technically, if you look at Rand, we know that he's got the skill level of being a Blade Master, but is he technically one? Well, that's the issue, is with the fight, there's no witnesses. Does he really earn it? All that stuff. Didn't take his sword, those kind of things.
But hasn't he fought others since?
Well, that's the issue. He's faced off against Toram Riotin, who is a Blade Master.
Yeah.
But that fight didn't end because of the fog and Padden Fane and the stabbing him and stuff. But he hasn't really faced off one-on-one in fair combat against other Blade Masters and beaten them. And he definitely didn't stand in front of a panel and show his skills. And they're cool.
He didn't do that.
Yeah. But then the argument for yes, he is, you could argue that he's got the respect of at least one other Blade Master who seems to be willing to acknowledge him as an equal, right? Lan. Because,
sure.
Or at least never called him out on wearing a Heron-mark sword when he clearly doesn't deserve it. Hey buddy, you shouldn't be wearing that sword. So, is Rand a Blade Master, or is he not? I don't know.
I don't know. And what is calendar? Calendar.
Not a Heron-mark sword.
No, I know that, but it's like it's a pretty powerful sword, man.
I mean, but it's not based on the power of sword that you have.
No, it's based on the power.
Oh,
so, like, does he even need to be a Blademaster? You know what?
Blade master.
I don't care, Brett. Am I saying it wrong every time?
Yeah, every time.
I don't even hear it. This sounds like a bonus episode.
Right.
Topic, because we're already, like,
but here's the thing.
Pretty far into this episode.
He also has errands on his hands, or hand now, but...
So does that count?
Does it count? As
hand,
he is...
Hand singular.
He's the Blade Master.
Heron Master.
Right. Okay, anyways.
He's more powerful than literally everybody. It doesn't even matter.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Okay.
Doesn't matter.
Anyways, there you go.
That's the end.
The's no answer except
no, but
that
we
maybe
should do a
is.
bonus episode on that.
Yeah, okay.
I could talk for a little bit longer on that.
Sure. I like it. Okay, let's talk about Gawin, because we're all waiting for that.
Yeah.
Everyone wants to hear this.
There's actually quite a bit to take out of this chapter. Actually, you're laughing. You think I'm
take
joking.
out the whole chapter. You don't have to hear from it at all.
No, okay. No. There is actually quite a bit, and I have some predictions.
Okay.
And I have some good stuff coming out of here.
Okay.
I was able to take out quite a bit. I was interested, actually.
Okay. You know what?
At first, I was like, no. Not another one.
Ooh, should I go? Shouldn't I? I should be in Andor with Elaine.
Oh my god. Okay, so.
Yeah.
Let's get into it.
Okay, fair enough.
Chapter 13, an offer and a departure. And the chapter symbol is a sword.
Yep.
Is it the heron sword? Is that the idea?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. That's fine.
Yeah.
Okay, so I really can sum up this chapter pretty quickly, but I know you're going to want to talk about the detail.
Too long didn't read? Okay.
Yeah, like I could.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Especially this first part, because Gawin's just fighting some warders, and he's really good.
Yeah, but it's not immediately clear. When the chapter opens, you're like, whoa, what's happening? Because Gawin is the kind of guy who will face warders in, like, a real combat.
Oh,
especially
like
if they were just allies.
Think that, we're just in a fight?
Yes, like when the chapter opens, I would argue that we're not clear, is he just, like, is he in another thing?
Yeah.
Is he going to kill more warders?
Okay.
He did this already.
No, he's just in, like, a fun training for funsies fight.
Yeah.
Yeah, against 2-on-1.
2-on-1, yeah.
And he wins.
He does. All the time. Every time.
He's great.
He's great, yeah. Mm-hmm. He's a blades master.
Shut up. Yeah, well, I mean, like, I feel like his upbringing obviously helps him. Sure. In that. And he probably has some good natural ability as a fighter.
Yeah. He's been training his entire life, basically. Yeah.
Yeah. He's good.
Yeah.
He's a good, great swords fighter.
Right. Good.
Good.
Cool. Are we not going to talk about the backstory of these warders? Or?
No, I really would like to skip that.
Oh, man. But it's like something out of a Gleeman's Tale.
But it's not going to matter.
Okay.
It's not even going to matter at all. We're never going to hear their names again.
What? We're never going to hear what Sleet, who's the warder of
and
Hattori?
Rajar, or no, Marlesh?
Marlesh, yeah.
No.
Who's Vash's warder? I mean, it's not like we've heard of these people before, but like...
And we're never going to again.
Okay.
Tell the one story.
Like Sleet's story, the cool one?
The cool one. Tell the cool story.
Okay, so he got lost at Dumai's Wells. He was wounded and on the ground for hours before deliriously managing to haul his butt up onto a horse. And then the horse carried him for hours until he arrived at a village nearby. Like the horse, good on the horse.
Yeah.
And then the villagers were considering selling Sleet, the warder, to a group of bandits because the leader was like, hey, I'll keep you guys safe if you just give me people who you, like refugees you get from Dumai's Wells battle. Super weird. And then the mayor's daughter basically falls in love with the guy, convinces the villagers that the bandits must be dark friends because who would want a wounded warder? And the woman ended up like nursing him back to health. And then Sleet had to leave in the middle of the night because feelings were starting to be had by the mayor's daughter and maybe by Sleet also, right? So it's like, gotta go. And then he did leave, but before he made it back to his Aes Sedai, he hunted down all the bandits and killed them so that the village would be safe.
Yeah.
So it's like, whoa, something out of...
Hero's journey,
right?
Man.
But for a warder, it's just another Tuesday.
Just another day.
There you go.
Just another couple months.
Yes.
On the job.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
But the worst part is Gawin's internal dialogue.
That is the worst part. You're right.
Right, because he's like,
just in general.
The warders, these guys are the ones who do all the hard work day in, day out.
No one respects them.
Aes Sedai manipulate the world. And monsters like Althor get all the glory.
Yeah.
While people like Sleet
that's going to be a theme.
You know?
So the whole monsters like Althor is going to be a theme. And I have a theory.
Okay.
To share.
Okay.
Later.
Okay.
I have it written down so I won't forget it. I have
You're
a theory.
You're going to save it. You're not even telling me
now.
Okay.
No, this is how you podcast. This is how you get people
save it for the end.
Continuing to listen because they're like, ooh, I want to hear that.
So the trick is you stick it in the middle because otherwise people fast forward to the end.
I am going to stick it in the middle.
Yeah.
That's what she said? No.
No, it doesn't make sense either.
Okay, whatever. Gosh. Okay. Anyway, they fight. Everything's kind of complicated. Gawin's wrought with indecision.
Yeah.
We're stuck inside his head and it's kind of annoying.
Yeah.
And then that's when they bring up the whole thing about how he killed Heron-mark and he needs the Heron-mark sword because he's so good at everything.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he was like, it wasn't exactly a time to take prizes.
Right.
It was kind of a horrible time.
Not gonna loot bodies.
Yeah,
right,
it would have been disrespectful.
Yeah.
He was my mentor.
Yeah.
I'm not stealing his sword after I kill him.
Right. So yeah, that's the summary of like the first half of the chapter until we get up to the offer.
The offer,
yeah.
Yeah. He gets offered a warder position.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
I mean, and this is the big thing, is we have to have some sort of build-up with Sleet as a character to know who he is. Sleet's a Blade Master. He's really good. He's basically legendary in the White Tower for how good he is. And the fact that Gawin can beat him like every time is saying something about how good Gawin is, because apparently Sleet bested Lan twice out of 7 fights back when Lan still fought other warders as a thing. Yeah. So, yeah. Who's better, Gawin or Lan?
Lan.
I just want to make sure your head's in the right place here. Right? Because, like, if you were like...
I know, but experience matters too.
Yeah.
So, I do have a note later too about Gawin and his worldview.
Sure.
Based on his knowledge and experience.
Yeah. It's lacking.
Because that's a thing, right?
Yeah.
Like, what he thinks and knows of the world is so limited at this point. But he wholeheartedly stands behind the things he's thinking and feeling.
Yeah.
Because of his own personal experience. Like, he hates the White Tower. He says it over and over again because of the way that Swan treated Egwene and Elaine.
Yeah.
And at this point, he has no real understanding of what that actually entails and how poorly they were treated. And he's like, I wonder if Elida would have treated them that badly. And it's like, you don't even know.
Right.
You don't even know what's happening right now and how terrible Elida is as an Amyrlin Seed.
Yeah.
And then, oh my gosh, and it just goes on. And I'll speak about it later.
Okay.
But his entire viewpoint of, like, his entire view of the whole world is based on his wrong knowledge.
Yeah.
And his limited experience.
It's tough.
Doing anything.
It's tough to watch him as a character go through this too, and then have the indecision, especially when he's like, "Oh, and I should be in Andor with Elaine." It's like, man, you could be there.
You could just do
You're
it.
the only one who's preventing you from doing that.
Yeah, and I think that he gets there. And at one point, one of these warders is like, "I can tell you're thinking about something.
Yeah.
What's going on?" And he's like, nothing.
You wouldn't understand.
So angsty. I know.
Yeah.
Okay, but where are we in this chapter?
Yeah, so Sleet's like, hey, so here's the thing. Hattori's agreeing. She only has one warder, but not because she doesn't want more. It's because she told me to find someone who's good enough to be her second warder. And guess who's that guy? It's you. It could only be you.
It could only be you. That's right.
Yeah.
And he's like, no.
Yeah.
I'm not going to be a warder. I never was. My duty is to Andor.
Right. And then he's like, oh, okay.
He's like, but still, you could still have that.
Yeah. Well, because that's the whole point that Sleet has. He's like, okay, so like I understand that you came to the White Tower originally because of those things, but things have changed. You're not the same person you were when you first got to the White Tower. You fought in our war. You killed warders. Like, you defended the White Tower. You're one of us. You should be a warder because that's who you are being. You are being a warder.
And he even thinks to himself, he's like, even if I'm ever gonna be a warder, it's Egwene's.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, so then Sleet kind of makes the proposition like, hey, Hattori is not super high on the political spectrum.
No,
she
but
can
she
go
can
anywhere.
Get herself stationed in Andor.
But not because she's high politically, it's because no one cares what she does.
Yeah, probably because she's low in the...
She's low in the hierarchy, so she can just, like, F off and get stationed as a whatever in Andor. And
Gawin even thinks, ooh, somebody's talking about the Aes Sedai hierarchy.
Yeah.
I want to know more about this, because even though they don't have ranks like in a military, it really feels like
there's ranks,
they automatically know who to defer to, and he doesn't know anything about that. No one's ever talked to him about it. He doesn't know it at all.
I mean, it's good that he picks up on like because there's clearly the hierarchy that they all defer to other people. Mm-hmm. Like there is a system, and I understand he doesn't get the system. But yeah, so they have that kind of back and forth, and he's like, okay, well, you know what? They end with saying, hey, think about it, and then he's like, okay, I'll think about it.
Yeah.
But we have a couple other things they do talk about, because it's actually a pretty long conversation they have.
Okay.
So the next topic is Gawin's like, hey, Sleet, like, what do you think about what happened with the White Tower? Like, how do you feel about all that?
Like, everybody made bad decisions that day. No good decisions were made.
It was bad.
Day. Yeah.
And more importantly, he thinks, like, hey, Warders and Aes Sedai shouldn't fight each other, and the Aes Sedai will do what's right, and the right thing is ending it.
Yes.
And the division, even if that means bloodshed, end it, put the tower back together.
Yeah.
And we don't exactly know whose bloodshed that means.
No, and we have these Dorlin Aes Sedai who are hanging out here.
Yeah.
Not going back to the tower, but then not joining the rebels.
Yeah.
So...
do you remember why? So these are like all the Dumai's Wells Aes Sedai.
Who Elaida sent out, but they're like mad at Elaida?
Well, because they came back, and then Elaida's like, stay out of the tower, because Dumai's Well is a whole nother fiasco. Katarina went into the tower, had a meeting with Elaida, and Elaida was like, get the hell out of here.
Yeah.
Because I don't need that on my plate right now. So now they're all stuck in Cheesetown for who knows how long.
Yeah.
It's like, man, come on.
Okay.
With all the younglings, and everybody hates the younglings.
I know.
And Gawin.
Yeah, right.
We'll see why in just a moment. He's insubordinate.
Well, no, I don't know about that.
I mean, to the Aes Sedai, he absolutely is.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, like in their opinion. He doesn't listen to orders. He does whatever he wants.
Yeah. He thinks he's a little bit more important than they think he is.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yes, I would agree with that. Okay.
Exactly. And then, just to kind of wrap up this whole, like, Sleet and Gawin thing, I do want to say that it seems like Sleet tries to absolve Gawin of some of the killing Hamar guilt.
And the guilt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's like, hey.
Hammer would have killed you if you didn't kill him.
Yeah.
It was a horrible day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he does say, like, oh, Hammer was on the offensive. And, I mean, that's an interesting sentence, too, in itself.
It's like a weird take on it.
Yeah.
Because...
but it's like, was he on the offensive? Because Gawin was like, no, I'm going to fight you. And Hammer was like, okay, like, you go offensive then. Like, what's the real story here?
Well, and realistically, the way I see it is those old-timey
they were trying to break out Swan.
They were trying to protect the tower from splitting apart.
Well, they were specifically also trying to help Swan.
Yeah.
And, like, that whole thing.
Well, because that would break the tower apart.
Yeah, that's the coup.
That's the coup part. They were trying to stop a coup from happening.
Yeah.
Which to me feels defensive.
Right. But it's just like the take on it, right?
Exactly,
so, okay. Anyways, he's like, hey, you know what? Shit happened, and, okay. Gawin's like, thanks. But, maybe Sleet's just trying to absolve himself of that, just because he also still wants Gawin as a second warder to Hattori.
Yeah.
So maybe there's, like, still trying to win him over.
There's part of that, and it feels like Hattori is super low in the power, so needs really strong warders.
Yeah.
In terms of, like, fighting.
Yeah, that's fair,
fighting skill.
Okay.
Because she sucks at the power. No?
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
Some logic to that.
Maybe there's, like, some sort of, like,
There's some logic to that, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, and you know what? Okay, this actually scene goes on longer than I thought, too, because there's, like, one more scene. They try to leave, like, 3 times.
Okay, yeah.
And then it's like, oh, wait, before you go.
let's get to the house.
Yeah, and it's like, oh, wait, before you go again. And then there's one more, oh, wait. So then before Sleet leaves, he's like, oh, hey, Gawin, by the way, some people think Hattori, like, abandoned me at Dumai's Wells, but I just wanted you to know it wasn't like that.
Yeah, but who cares? That's fine.
Well, yeah, because it's like, oh, he was injured and did that whole, like, epic quest thing.
Yeah, I know.
And then
you explained it to us already.
I could say it again if you want me to.
No, I'm good.
Anyways,
we got
okay,
it.
so Hattori had to get back to the tower to tell the Greens about what actually went down at Dumai's Wells, because she was on that mission. She didn't actually know the real deal, like what was going down.
Uh-huh.
We know Elaida had like the secret plan and had a bunch of Reds in on it, but apparently not everyone was informed.
Right.
So now the Greens apparently know what Elida's actual mission was because Hattori got the word back that she had the secret kidnap Rand plan.
Good.
So it's just good to note that other Ajahs are like in on the scoop of what Elida was up to.
Yep. Yeah. No, that's good.
Yeah.
I didn't really pick up on much of that.
Okay.
But that's okay.
Yeah.
Because what I was picking apart is Gawin's internal monologue at this point.
Yeah.
But so we're going to head over to where the Aes Sedai are meeting.
Yes.
Because Gawin thinks to himself, I'm so important that I need to be aware of what's going on in this meeting. It actually kind of reminds me of Nynaeve.
Okay.
Remember when Nynaeve was like, oh, they're all meeting and I wasn't invited?
I
better just go.
Yeah.
Because I need to know. Except what actually happened was Nynaeve shows up and Rand's like, oh, good, you're here. I was about to send for you.
Right.
And she gets to stay.
Yeah.
Whereas here, Gawin shows up and they're like, nah.
He's like, Gawin, no part of this meeting concerns you.
Yeah, and he's like, I need to know.
It's a strategy meeting. And it's like, how do you know that it's a strategy meeting?
And they're like, absolutely, nope.
Yeah.
You don't get to be in here. No.
Right.
And just close the door in his face.
Oh, yeah, he gets a shut on him. So,
oh, yeah, completely.
Yeah.
That's the whole scene. That's it.
Well, I love it because, like, he even before he knocks on the door, he's thinking, like, I shouldn't go in here, but the rules don't apply to me, so I'm going to go in. It's like, man, that is a bad strategy.
And they're like, we literally told your soldier to guard this door against anybody, even other Aes Sedai.
Yeah.
Why do you think you get to be in here? What are you doing?
I lead the younglings. I need to be here.
Yeah.
But it's funny because we've seen it on the other end of the spectrum too with the rebels. They treat Gareth Bryn like the commander of an actual army.
Yeah.
The same way. Like
Yep.
they do.
Well,
I'm not
Aes
saying
Sedai, like, how many times do we have to talk about their arrogance and smudgeness?
Yes, but like on the arrogance level of Gawin too, like Gawin has like a couple hundred younglings.
Yeah.
Gareth Bryn is leading like 50,000 troops.
Oh shit!
In the actual siege against Tarvallon.
Yeah.
And Gawin thinks he's equally important.
Well, yes.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Arrogance.
Yes, that's what it is.
Yep, that is. That's all I have to say about that. But it was funny.
Yeah, it is a pretty funny scene.
Because he's like, okay, let me in. And then they're like, no. And then that's it. And he just like absolutely does not get let in.
Yeah. So now he has to go stand guard at the building because he basically released the guard from
he did.
guard
yeah.
service.
And so now he's like, well, I guess
here.
somebody has to.
Oh, man. Gawin is just having a day.
Yeah. Gawin's having a hard time. Just in general, like a whole year here.
The last like 2
hard.
years has been not great.
Not great.
Yeah.
Ever since that damn monster, Althor, dropped into his garden.
Right?
Ugh.
Maybe he wasn't a monster on that day, but like really shortly afterwards.
Yeah, and he's like, oh, as soon as I can confirm that Rand killed my mom, I'm killing him.
He did say, because he does think in some of his like side thoughts, he's like, shoot, I promised Egwene anything except
I knew you were going to bring this up.
Don't
this is your
hurt Andor or my sister.
Not my country or my sister.
Yeah, as long as I don't have to kill my sister or hurt my country. And then he also lumped in promising not to kill Rand.
Right.
At least until he can prove that.
Right.
You know, for sure what happened.
Right. So this is my point about Gawin really, really hating Rand.
Okay.
Because I think it's at this point where he goes on an entire thought train.
Yeah.
Where he's thinking about how horrible Rand is for the world.
Yeah.
And what a monster he's become.
He has to put him down for the good of the world.
Egwene not see what a monster he's become? And I have to say, Egwene does. We do see Egwene.
That's true.
Not liking what Rand has become.
Yeah.
So we do have that end of it. And so that's him not knowing what Egwene is doing and thinking.
Right.
But at the same time, he's so adamant that the world has to be rid of Rand to be good. And I'm like, yo, bud, that's the Dragon Reborn. Right. Literally the probable savior of the world, if there is one.
Or destroyer of the world. Who
I know,
knows?
but if Gawin kills Rand at this point, like, then we're toast.
And it's like, oh, Gawin. Oh, God. That would be the thing that, of course, Gawin does.
Okay, so here's my prediction.
Okay.
Gawin's gonna fight Rand.
Oh, I love it.
And die. Gawin's dying.
Like Rand is going to kill him?
Gawin, yes.
I love that 100%. So much.
As soon as I read that, I was like, yo, Gawin, you're going to die.
There's like a couple steps that need to be involved here.
Even if the pattern hears you think,
yeah,
I'm going to kill Rand, pattern's offing
like,
you, bud.
No.
Yeah, I'm just like, okay, when's Gawin going to die? Because now I'm ready.
Fell down an elevator shaft.
Yeah. The writers wrote him out of the show.
Scene.
Absolutely. Yeah, because there's no way. You can't think about killing Rand and making that your entire life's goal.
Yeah. Oh, man.
You can't. The pattern's going to be like, nope, you out of life.
I love that.
Sorry, Gawin. I wrote, Gawin will fight Rand and die, and then I wrote LOL.
Yeah.
In my notes, I was like, Gawin, you can't. So if Gawin ever tries to kill Rand, he's dying. That's my prediction.
Okay, so there's a couple steps that need to be involved there with that happening.
Mm-hmm.
So like when and where, and in a sword fight, like how's he gonna?
Yeah, maybe that's how Rand's gonna get his blade master.
Oh my god, back, because he has one hand now, so he has to relearn the sword.
Oh shit!
Did you forget that? Did you forget that?
No, it doesn't even matter if Rand is the one to kill him. If Gawin tries to kill Rand
and he gets killed,
he's dying.
I was gonna say, if Rand
the pattern, no way, right?
Think about this though: if Rand personally kills Gawin, even if it's in like a whatever fight,
yeah,
how is that gonna affect his relationship with Elaine? Gawin's it's her brother. Like, is that going to affect the relationship?
Honestly, the weakest relationship that Rand has right now is the one with Elaine, other than the pregnancy that he doesn't know about. Like,
other than the whole baby thing, it's like super.
Okay, he doesn't even know she's pregnant. Yeah. So, let's be real.
Isn't that Doylan's baby? That's what I heard.
Okay, let's be real though. Yeah. Like his actual relationship that he has is with Min.
Right.
That's the one that's like.
I agree.
Friendship.
It's a real relationship.
Intellectual relationship that they're like actually intimate. They have a relationship.
It's a real
together.
relationship.
It's a real relationship.
Yeah.
Then we have Aviendha, who they had sex once, but they don't really talk about liking each other there or admitting it. But at least Aviendha's there with him now, and there's a chance for them to grow the relationship.
Well, once she's, regained her toe.
I know. And whatever. Her toes, yeah, whatever. And then Elaine, they made out a couple times.
She gave him good political advice.
What is it? 8 books ago?
Yeah.
8 books ago, they made out a little bit. And then, I don't know, 4 or 5 books ago, they had sex once.
Yeah, sure. Okay.
And then it's like, love for life.
Okay.
Love for life.
That's how it works.
Baby.
It's political.
So
Babies.
How
dare you?
Plural. I know. See, I just can't get my plurals right. That's actually what's going on.
That's what's happening.
So,
okay.
If we're actually talking about genuine relationships,
yeah,
the Elaine one is the one that really gets me as
so you're cool with it.
As it's okay if that one falls apart a little.
All right.
Except for there's children involved now.
Shoot.
Oh, gosh. Okay. Anyway, that's the prediction.
All right.
If Gawin tries to kill Rand, the pattern is noping him out of the story.
Got it. It's a good one. I like it.
I just laughed out loud.
Yeah.
When I was reading. I was like, oh, Gawin, no, buddy. No. Nope.
All right.
Sorry. He might even be better at the sword.
Than Rand?
Yeah.
Well, he is now, for sure.
Now, for sure. But.
He only has one hand.
Yeah. I don't know how many times I can say
Debatably, he's not going to be able to fight
with a sword.
just
no.
Yeah, and debatably, Rand shouldn't be fighting with a sword.
I would prefer if Gawin is like, oh, I'll fight against the shadow, alongside you, and then we're fine, and then we're good.
Okay.
But if he decides to kill Rand,
yeah,
then no, he's gone.
Okay.
Yeah, he's a goner.
I like it. Let's get to the twist. The twist of the chapter.
Katarina's here. Is that the twist?
That's the twist. Yep.
Okay.
Okay. The meeting's done.
Okay, hold on. Let's take a quick break.
Okay, that's fair.
Because the second chapter is a short one.
It is.
And so now's a good time, I think, for us to take a quick break. We've been talking quite a bit, and I need a drink.
Yeah.
Refill. So we'll be right back to talk about some of the interesting things in this chapter. Yeah. Okay, so we're back, and we are going to keep going with chapter 13.
Yeah, so the meeting is done, and now the Aes Sedai are coming out of the building, but still talking conveniently about certain things.
I know, if the meeting is over, you should probably stop talking about things. But that's the thing that Aes Sedai, they do that.
Also, it's Katarina. She's Black Aja.
Yeah.
So, don't trust anything that's happening here.
Also, chaos.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, she's the one who specifically was already talking to Gawin previously and, giving him information, because we know Gawin is just, a hothead.
Well, he can be, yeah.
Yeah, he's going to do something stupid because he always does. It's Gawin.
Okay. I don't think what he's about to do is stupid, though. I'm actually here for what he's going to do.
Well,
I have some predictions about what he's going to do, so...
Okay, let's get there.
Because it is a cliffhanger, and I love leaving on a cliffhanger like this.
It is, okay.
I was worried that the next chapter that we read was going to be what he does next.
Right.
And then I was like, I was going to predict it. You know?
Yeah.
But now I get to get it on record prediction.
Hey, if you want to go back to one chapter, we can do that.
Nope. No. I wasn't actually worried. I was just joking. Okay, so the Aes Sedai are coming out and chatting.
Yes. Now, do you know who these Aes Sedai are?
Okay.
Do you have notes?
I have notes from the Crossroads of Twilight prologue.
Yeah, that makes sense.
When we first are introduced to Dorland, the cheesy, sleepy town.
Yes, okay.
So Gawin and the younglings are there. And we also have Katarina, who's there. We have Tarna, who's there. And we have Narenwin.
Yes.
And Kovarla.
Yeah.
Who's also there.
Yes.
Who currently, and at that time was the highest ranking sister.
Right.
Who had been rescued.
Yeah. So Kovarla, we've heard of her before. We don't really know a ton about her. But we do know Narenwin because she was the contact in the White Tower who was communicating with Rhonda McGuire when Nynaeve and Elaine got fork-rooted.
Right, because I do have a note from Crossroads of Twilight in my book, Narenwin from Elida, Fires of Heaven, yellow.
Yes.
But I don't have, any...
any of the important stuff to connect that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was the Rhonda McGuire contact. And then Katarina, we know, is the Red/Black Aja sister. She's the one who escaped from captivity with the Aiel after being taken from Dumais Wells. You know, all that stuff.
Right,
Moderately tied with Galena.
Yeah, that's what I have.
That's the one.
That's who I have.
Okay. So, Narenwin is here, and Katarina is here, Kovarla's here.
Okay.
And they're having a conversation.
Yeah. Now, as they're walking by Gawin, one of them says, "Can't believe the rebels set up their own Amyrlin."
Yeah. Probably like that, too.
Yeah.
Because, I always envision that they want Gawin to hear, because they see his reaction to Katarina being here, which is jaw on the floor, oh my goodness.
So shocked. He's so shocked that he sees Katarina come out.
Because she left.
She left, and he didn't even see her come back.
How did she get back? One of his men would have told him if she was back. Nobody wants to see her come back. This is crazy.
It's
crazy.
traveling.
Oh my goodness. Well,
it's traveling. She knows traveling.
Because she came out of the attic or whatever.
Yeah, she showed up in the attic here.
Yeah. It's oh my goodness. Okay, so he can't understand.
Okay, the last time we saw Katarina, correct me if I'm wrong, she was with Egwene during that Egwene capture. And she was one of the ones who was guarding Egwene, the first couple of days, and giving her fork root.
Yeah.
And so we know that she was at Dumais Wells and was captured.
Yeah.
But was she the one who was rescued?
Yep.
Because she's Black Aja?
Yeah. And we don't know how.
Yeah.
But she escaped.
Before the Varen compelling.
Yes.
Probably.
Because Katarina was on her list to go next. Yeah.
And then
they're she's gone.
Oh, she ran away.
Yeah.
Okay. And then she was also at Dorland before.
Yeah.
That's my notes on her. Now, the Aes Sedai can for sure tell that Gawin is shocked, and then Katarina starts talking about how the rebels are setting up a puppet Amyrlin, and of course they would pick a wilder accepted, and this makes me mad, because Egwene is not a wilder.
Yeah, I know.
Of everybody to call a wilder, it's not Egwene.
Yeah.
She didn't start channeling on her own. She didn't figure out channeling on her own. She literally learned how to channel by Moraine and in the White Tower.
Yeah.
And was it for long enough? Was it for the amount of time that they would like somebody to be in the tower training? No.
Yeah,
but she was trained in the tower. She's not a wilder.
Yeah,
that's a crazy thing to call Egwene.
It's medium crazy. I could also see some rewriting of the history though, because she didn't technically go straight to the White Tower. She was trained with Moraine, a blue, obviously.
Yeah, but that's an Aes Sedai.
But then she went to Falt Dara, and then she went. Then that was the whole Swan thing and then they came back. So there is a lot of time that Egwene started to learn.
The time that she really learned the most was her time as a Seanchan captive.
Exactly. So what are we doing here?
That's anything.
That could also play into it.
She came back because apparently she escaped. that's how they see it, right?
She's not a traditional Aes Sedai.
No, but she didn't learn by herself before she even went to the tower.
But the Wilder thing isn't supposed to be an accurate title. It's just like a label to discriminate. It's a slur. Yeah. A slur. It's how they discriminate against certain Aes Sedai. So yeah.
But I was like, Egwene of all people.
Yeah.
Like, maybe Nynaeve.
Call Nynaeve a while. That's fine, but but not Egwene.
Not Egwene. Don't do it.
That's good. Okay. Anyways, so then, shocker, he's like, what? Who's that? And then he hears the Al'Vir girl's name.
Al'Vir girl.
Yeah, that's the thing.
I hear that she's captured and made to howl half the day. Yeah. And they're, like, laughing.
Yes. And Gawin's like, no!
He's like, what? And he's like, that sounds like Egwene, but it can't be. And then the Aes Sedai can't lie, so it must be true.
Oh, no, but Egwene's only accepted.
Yeah, so how could that even be? And then that's when Gawin dashes up to the Aes Sedai and is like, wait. Is it true? Please, is it true?
Yeah. Tell me what he said about the rebels and the Amerlin. Okay.
So
this is why I 100% think Katarina is doing this 100%
and she's
intentionally.
like, I guess it would be okay to pass the news on.
Maybe I can tell you this. Okay.
Yes, it's Egwene Al'Vir. And then they go back to ignoring him.
Yeah. It's like she knows.
Yeah. And then he overhears them say a few more things about how they have all sorts of new weaves. And they're going to gain advantage over the rebels.
Well, they got to use them because pretty soon it's going to be everyone has them, so you got to use the advantage while you have it. Exactly. Which is literally what Egwene and the army should have done, like when they had traveled months ago, when you had the advantage.
Yep.
Scoop up Elida, take her out of there.
And Gawin thinks for 1 second, traveling, maybe that's how Bryn is keeping his army supplied.
Yeah.
Man.
No time for that now, though.
Yeah, don't think about that.
This is why
we have to focus on the fact that Egwene has been captured and she's being tortured.
Right.
Maybe she's been stilled and she's going to be executed. We have to rescue her.
Egwene is in trouble and she'll be executed. So this is why I was like, no matter what. Okay, so Gawin, it's stupid. He's going to make a stupid decision. It's just stupid.
I think this decision's a good one.
Okay, let's get to it. Let's get to it.
You know why I think it's a good decision?
Why?
Because it's a decision.
Yeah.
Gawin has made a decision. Instead of sitting around being indecisive as fuck, he's made a freaking decision, and it's to be on Egwene's side, and I'm good. I don't care what happens. I'm happy for it.
I'm going to put an asterisk in this for you.
No.
Because it's not Gawin being on Egwene's side, because it's Gawin trying to, or thinking about mounting a rescue mission.
Yeah.
You think Egwene wants Gawin, the freaking Gawin?
No.
To rescue her right now?
No. But I have some other things that prove that this is actually a good decision.
Okay, let's get to it then.
Yeah,
let's keep going.
Grinning.
I am. Well, I want to know. I
like when I say things that make you
You're
grin,
making me wait.
I am. I am.
Let's finish this chapter, then you can tell me all the things.
Okay, so he thinks to himself, where's your loyalty, Gawin Turkant? He's so dramatic to himself.
Right.
And he's like, okay, I gotta go. I have to rescue. We need to rescue and save Egwene. And then my favorite part, this is what really got my mind going.
Okay.
Because he's like, I have to save Egwene, but I can't do it alone.
Right.
And then he starts packing up to leave.
Well, and he can't trust the younglings because the younglings will be on the tower side no matter what.
Well, that's what he thinks.
And I
think a lot of them will be on his side, but I think at this point he doesn't want anybody alerted to what he's gonna do.
Well, here's also the issue is that literally in this chapter 2, when he opened up the door, the Aes Sedai, when they were talking to him, they were like really shit talking him a little bit there, but they're like, hey,
one, whatever her name is.
Yeah, they're saying, hey, maybe we should replace you and find a new leader who's gonna listen to us. Because you think the younglings are going to follow only you? Like, no, they're going to follow whoever's in charge here.
Yeah.
So, like, maybe we should replace you. So that's already on the table where the whole, like, the younglings won't necessarily listen to you.
Yeah.
It might be creeping into his mind here.
Right. Okay, so he's packing up his stuff. He's getting ready to go. He wants to leave enough stuff behind that it's not immediately obvious that he's taken off.
Okay, yeah.
And now he thinks about where Gareth Bryn has his kind of like outpost guards at some point.
Yeah.
During this. So we have two options as to like where he's going.
Okay.
I have two things.
So what he is what he's telling his guy, because he's also communicating with his guy. He's like, oh, I'm going to go run inspections on our outriders and just see if they're actually going to like pick up on me coming.
Yes.
Okay, so where might he be going actually?
So we have two options. So he needs to go save Egwene.
Right.
And he needs to go to somebody who's on Egwene's side.
Yeah.
That is logical.
Yeah.
So we have two places he can be going. One is the closest option, which is Gareth Bryn and the rebel army.
Yeah, okay.
Because if Egwene was made to be the Amyrlin of the rebel camp, then maybe there's they want to get her back.
Yeah, and I mean, he's got a relationship with Gareth Bryn.
And he's thinking like, we can't trust Aes Sedai, I hate them all. And they used Egwene, and he's all mad.
Yeah.
But going to Gareth Bryn might be an option he takes because of how close he is to Gareth Bryn.
Yeah, there's the rapport from
and physically close.
And physically close, yeah.
The geographical sense.
Okay.
Because he literally can ride there tonight.
Right.
And get there.
Yeah.
And might be received okay. And we can come up with a plan with Gareth Bryn or something like that.
Sure.
That's one option.
What's option 2?
Going to Elaine.
Okay.
Because Elaine is best friends with Egwene.
Yeah.
And that's his rightful place in Andor.
Get his butt back there.
Elaine is there. He's going to Elaine to help save Egwene.
Okay.
From the tower.
I like it.
I think that those are the two most logical options.
Yeah.
For
which would you prefer he does?
Well, I think there's a better chance. So when I read this, I've read it twice through. And both times I came to the conclusion he's going to Gareth Bryn.
Okay, that's not what I asked, though. I said, what would you prefer he does?
Oh, Elaine.
You want him to go to Elaine? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because Elaine, either way, honestly, he's not actually going to mess things up. If he tries to just go ride into Tar Valon or something like that.
Yeah, that's not going to work.
No, and he knows it.
Yeah.
Actually, he's thinking, I need help. I can't do this alone. He says those words.
Right.
To himself. So he's either going to Gareth Bryn. I think it's more of like 75% chance he's going to Gareth Bryn.
Yep.
25% chance he's going to Elaine.
Okay. No percentage for other option.
I can't think of one.
Okay, that's fair. I like it. That's good. That's well thought out.
Because he notes where Gareth Bryn's outposts are.
Yeah.
And I think he's noting that either to avoid them so he can get to Andor.
Yeah.
Or he's noting it so he can go to them under like white flag situation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I like it. That's good.
That's my thought process here. And I mean, I guess there's a chance that there's a third option I haven't thought of.
Okay. Yeah, so he has to do a little bit of talking to his main guy, Rajar, who we've actually met before. We saw him earlier in the book.
Yeah, there's a couple things at the end of this chapter.
Like, pack the bags. Oh, I'm going to go do an inspection. No, you don't need to send an escort with me. I'll be fine. It's whatever. And then he's like, oh, okay, make sure you send a messenger to let me know when you get there safe. Otherwise, I'm going to be staying up worried that you're not.
And he thinks to himself, oh, I guess that guy's going to lose sleep.
Exactly. And then we get to the finale part of the little chapter here.
Yes.
Where now it's just Gawin getting his horse ready. And then suddenly Sleet is back.
Ooh.
It's all that build up.
Yeah.
With the warder.
And he knows what's going on.
Oh, yeah. He's like, hey, you...
And Gawin's like, you're not going to try to stop me? And he's like, no.
No. It is really funny.
And he's like, you could stop me.
But first.
He's like, but...
Wait.
Oh,
we have to have Gawin's thought where he goes, oh, no, am I going to have to kill another man I respect?
Yeah. No.
No, Gawin.
Yeah.
Just stop doing that.
Yeah.
So yeah, Sleet's like, no, I don't want to fight you. We fought 3 times today, and I lost every single time
but then
with
Gawin's
another
like,
person.
You know what? Fighting you and killing you would just raise alarms.
Exactly.
And I wouldn't get out anyways.
Yeah.
So
like, if you actually thought it was worth it, then
you
would
could stop me for sure. And he's like, yeah, but...
Don't actually want to.
You clearly care about something, and I'm going to let you go do it.
Yeah, maybe you'll find a way to stop this.
I hope you find what you're seeking.
Yeah, and hopefully he's also like, hey, maybe you'll find a way to stop the whole, like, tower division.
All of it.
Who knows?
Mm-hmm.
He also doesn't want to die today, you know? It's cool.
Yep. Maybe I'm feeling lazy.
Maybe I'm feeling lazy, and I don't want to get my butt stabbed again.
Who's to say? Okay, so some good predictions coming out of that chapter.
It's pretty good.
I think. I'm excited, actually, to see where he's going to go and what's going on. And it's the first time in a while I've been kind of on the edge of my seat excited about something that's going to happen.
Yeah. Okay.
So I don't know. And it's Gawin, of all people. So I'm like, okay, you're doing something. This is what I've been rooting for, Gawin. You're doing something. It better not be stupid. I'm going to be so mad if this is stupid. You know what I mean?
I picked option 3.
Oh my god, he rode straight to the White Tower.
Straight to White Tower.
And he's banging on the White Tower door.
Let
Gawin go! I need to talk to Elida. And I'll be like, Gawin, fuck.
Oh man. Okay. That's good.
Yeah. So, yeah. But that's where we are. We're with Gawin in his own worldview, going off on his own with his own incorrect weirdo knowledge. And we'll see how that goes for him.
Yeah, let's get to the next one now.
Okay, let's take a really quick break, and when we come back, we'll dive into the next chapter.
All right.
Okay, so we're back, and we're going to dive into chapter 14, A Box Opens.
Yeah.
And the chapter symbol is the moon and stars terangrial for our pal Catthwain.
Yeah.
So, no surprise, we enter in our Catthwain perspective, and we have Catthwain and Seraquel, the oldie wise one.
Right, yep. There's a couple others, too.
And a couple others
like
are here, too,
yeah.
but they don't really matter at all.
No, not really.
I honestly don't even remember who it was. If their names were mentioned, I don't know.
It's Bear, another wise one. Yeah.
Oh, it's other wise ones. I didn't know if it was I said. Okay, yeah, the other wise ones.
Yeah.
They're spending some quality time with Semirog right now.
Yeah.
And I'm like, man, all of this makes me mad. Like, it makes me so angry. I don't know.
Why angry?
I just think it's stupid.
Oh, like the plan, like what they're doing?
What they're doing
is
Seraquel
thinks it's stupid too.
Dumb. I know that. I like
Yeah.
Seraquel. Seraquel's like, why haven't we killed her yet?
Yeah, that's what
why
we should do.
Why isn't she dead? She should be dead.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yes.
Have you considered that as an option?
Yeah,
okay.
But Catthwain's like, no. We actually
yet.
haven't considered that. We haven't even considered torturing her. But, do you think that not letting somebody bathe, brush their hair, change their clothes...
Well, it's sleep deprivation torture. That's what they're doing right now. Sleep deprivation torture. We're jumping ahead, but like literally not letting people sleep for days is literal torture.
We keep balls of bright lights in her eyes always. We keep bells ringing in her ears always.
Yeah.
This is pure torture.
Yeah.
This is just straight torture. So...
And I don't even want to at this point be like, oh, we shouldn't torture the Forsaken or we should torture.
I'm just
but like just definitionally.
But from the beginning, Rand was like, no torture.
And even here, they're like, oh, we're not torturing her.
But like, yes, you freaking are.
By definition, you are. 100%. You are doing that, yeah.
This is nothing short of torture. This is no different than putting us like the.
It's like we're not cutting off toes or like.
No, you're not like physically harming her body.
Chopping off hands.
But her hair's matted and she's dirty and she's literally being kept awake.
Yeah. Anyways, we're jumping ahead here.
This reminds me of Ozark torture. The lights and the noise, the loud music.
That's what they do.
Yeah.
That's one of the things that they do.
It's literal torture.
Yeah.
How are we just like, no, this isn't torture?
Yeah.
What? What?
Cool. Yeah. It's fine.
What?
It's like...
And all this is doing is making Semirog more hellbent on getting her revenge on you.
Maybe.
No, that's it. That's all this is doing.
All right. You're jumping way ahead.
I know, but it makes me so angry.
Start at the beginning, and then we'll go to the end.
It makes me so mad.
Okay.
I'm so mad.
Okay.
So, Seraquel is looking at Semirog and is like, so, this is one of the Shadow Sold, hey? And then we get this entire internal thought process of Catthwain about how she trusts and respects Seraquel.
Yeah.
Which is unexpected because Seraquel can barely channel.
Just a little correction here. She doesn't trust her.
Oh, she doesn't trust her.
She doesn't trust her.
Oh.
She respects her. And she didn't expect that from an Aiel and wise one who can't channel. So it's like, it's almost sweet because like, I respect her. But then you're like, oh, wait. She's like, I don't trust her. And from a dirty, almost non-channeler.
Well,
like, wait.
Well, okay, yeah. She's like, oh my gosh, she can barely channel, but I'm considering her my equal. How weird.
Crazy. Don't understand it. Anyways.
Oh, well, and the not trust actually comes in from...
Seraquel has her own goals.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. So, like, they are aligned in their mission of, like, we have to help Rand.
Yeah, that's the part I meant, yeah.
But then she doesn't trust her in the whole sense of, like, she clearly has her own ends, and, like, Catherine has her own stuff, Seraquel has her own stuff, so there is still some separation. But...
Yeah, and then this is where we learn that she's been kept awake by balls of light in her eyes and bells ringing in her ears for about 2 days.
Yeah.
To keep her awake.
Yeah.
Because they're like, maybe if she's exhausted, she'll share information.
Yeah. It's one of Cadsuan's fancy new weaves that she
Love
does.
it. Love it. Oh, and she just can't believe how few Aes Sedai are good at innovating.
Right. Yeah.
With weaves.
It's like maybe because the White Tower shuts down innovation really hard.
100%. Oh, yes. That
maybe
is
because of
not
that.
allowed. And they don't share any information at all.
That's why, right?
Yeah.
I forgot. Okay. So anyway, Noralia, she wants to talk to Semirog. Let's have this conversation.
Okay. So we get rid of the balls of lights and the ringing of bells. And then Semirog takes a look at Noralia and says, "Ah, Aiel, you were such good servants once." And I just love this because I was like, is Noralia going to trigger this in Semirog?
Yeah.
I was wondering because it's so different. And we've already had other Forsaken comment on how far the Aiel have come.
The Aiel are a lot different than the Aiel.
Yes,
a lot
exactly.
different.
Yeah. And so Semirog knows this at this point,
Mm-hmm.
and now this isn't shocking for her, and she's using it to try to piss off Noralia.
Yeah, she's trying to bait her.
Yeah. And she says, "Tell me, how does it feel knowing that you've betrayed your oaths? Your ancestors would cry out for punishment if they'd known what you've done."
Yeah, and this is pretty interesting for Catsuan too, because this is confirming rumors that she's heard about the Aiel and all the secrets that Rand revealed, because she'd heard about it, but she didn't have corroboration on that yet.
Yeah.
But now it seems like Semirog's in the loop, so it's very interesting to watch this.
Yep. Now, Noralia doesn't react, but she does say, "She seems so much more human than I had anticipated. Her expressions, her tone, her accent, they're easy to understand. I hadn't expected that, considering she lived 3,000 years ago.
Yeah.
And languages change, and accents change, and everything changes, and I thought she'd be like a big monster, but turns out she's nothing but just a regular old human."
No, I love it because it's like
Orego.
absolutely Shirley is laying out the trash talk right now because she's not even she opened by saying I want to talk to Semirog, and now she does no talking to Semirog. She's talking about Semirog in front of her, being like, this monster has small fangs.
Yeah.
And it's such a good bird. It's like
Yeah, and even Cadsuan is like, wait, I just saw Semirog react to something, which is the first time in all of this time we've had her captured that she's reacted to anything.
Yeah.
And it's this underhanded
smack talk.
insult about how she's not very scary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love it. It's good.
Oh, and then this is where Bear is here, and she says, "I think that's what we need to remember. A woman is a woman, no matter how old or what secrets she knows."
Yeah.
And then Sorelia's like, "I'm almost disappointed. She sucks.
This is terrible.
She's a small monster.
Yeah.
I don't even care."
Okay.
And then Semirog stops reacting. Like, it was just a small, like, facial twitch, basically, and she's
back in control.
Yeah, she starts into her usual routine of talking about things that she'll do and how she's going to torture everybody. But she says, "I wonder what it'll take for your people to shame themselves. How far are you going to have to be pushed before you kill a blacksmith and dine on his flesh?"
Yeah, cannibalism for a blacksmith is worse, probably.
Noralia copies Cadsuan's weaves and puts blinders back on Semirog, and Cadsuan notes that Semirog has this understanding of Aiel culture.
Yeah.
Knowing that blacksmiths are, like, sacred or whatever.
Yeah, so it's like a lot of information that Semirog has, but I mean, that's not entirely surprising that she knows stuff.
No, but Cadsuan finds it surprising.
Yeah.
I know it's not surprising to us.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Yeah. She's getting caught up to speed. Everyone's got to get in the loop here.
Yeah, and even though Noralia is weak in the power, she's quick to pick up on those weaves.
Yeah, she just learned the whole little chimey bells in the ears and the lights in the eyes.
Yep.
So, I mean, it can be... I can't imagine that's like the most complicated one.
No.
Like...
But now Sorelia's going to tell Cadsuan that this is a bad idea for them to keep her like this, and they should just cut her throat and be done with it.
Yes,
and I completely agree.
Yeah.
Although not cut her throat, Balefire, because we know.
Right.
But at this point, a Forsaken who's been captured is not going to have the same free reign.
Yeah, that's fair.
Even if they're transmigrated. So that's fine. Just kill her at this point.
No, so I do want to talk about this argument that Catsuan makes for keeping the Forsaken alive here, because she says, hey, like, killing her now might be worse long term because Rand won't give her an accurate count of the Forsaken he's killed, but he's implied that at least half of them are still alive, and then also any information we can get about Weaves is going to be helpful, like fighting the Forsaken. So the whole Forsaken count is the interesting part, because I want to talk about the numbers of who is alive, who he knows alive, who he knows dead, and then maybe counter that with what Rand might think. Because Rand's information might not also be up to date.
Okay, let me just flip back.
Yeah.
Okay, Chapter 3, Knife of Dreams. I have a current Forsaken, Dead AF, and Limbo Land.
Good. Okay, so it's been about a book, so let's do this. Let's update the list.
Let's see how we've been. I don't know if any of it has to be updated.
Well, we can talk about what Rand might think, because if he's not giving accurate information or any information to Catherine, that is important.
Okay, here's my alive for show.
Okay.
Moradin.
Yeah.
/ Ishamael.
Yeah. So I would argue that Rand might think he's dead because he killed him 3 times.
True.
But then he has also met the Moradin character, but like doesn't really have a full understanding.
No, he doesn't know.
He doesn't have a full understanding of like that.
That we think.
Yeah. Like we don't know, but we know there's like some crossover.
We have Moradin who has mind-trapped Sindane, who is Lanfear.
Yep.
Who Rand thinks is dead.
Right.
And then we have Moradin who's mind-trapped Moghedien, who Rand probably doesn't have a tab on.
Yeah, but would assume is still alive. I would assume he would assume she's alive.
Yes. Now, alive for sure is Halima / Erengar / Balthamel, but Rand would think Balthamel's dead.
Right.
Okay.
He wouldn't have tabs on a Halima / Erengar.
Right. So far I've listed 1, 2, 3, 4, and Rand thinks 3 are dead.
Okay.
So that's bad.
It's not great.
That's horrible, actually.
It's a bad start.
We've never done it this way.
It's a bad start.
We've never done it this way, and I'm like, oh no. Okay. We have Demandred.
Yep.
Who Rand thinks is alive.
And is alive. Yeah.
We have Semirog, who's currently captured.
Captured, alive.
Alive. Missana, alive. Rand thinks is alive.
Yep.
Grandel, alive. Rand thinks is alive.
And here.
And in Erdomen.
Yes.
Not here as in Semirog here, but here as in the country. In the vicinity. Okay. Now, we have Dead AF, dead as fuck. Balal.
Yep. Dead is dead. Yep.
Dead is dead, because that guy was balefired by Moraine.
Yep. Rand saw that. He knows.
And we have Ravine.
Rand did that one.
Really balefire.
He knows that one's done.
So balefire.
Probably.
Well,
yeah, for sure. Because also...
And we know.
And Matt's still alive and all that, because that was the whole...
Okay. And now we have a Limbo Land situation.
Sure.
So, Asmodean, we saw someone come to kill him.
Yep.
And we assume he's kind of maybe dead, but Rand thinks he's still alive and ran away.
Right. He doesn't really know what happened.
He doesn't know, and neither do we. We don't know what happened to him after he was potentially killed.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sure.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I only argue that because, like, we saw the Dark One saying, like, hey, that traitor guy's dead AF, and
I know,
I'm not bringing him back.
But, like, he wasn't killed by balefire. That's my only measure of, like, actually dead, you know?
Or the Dark One saying no.
Well, even the Dark One could have kept his soul.
Okay,
and
that's fair.
decided to bring him back.
Yeah, I'll accept that.
Because Rand's strong and shit.
I'll accept it.
Anyway, Samael is also in Limbo Land.
Right.
And Rand also feels like Samael might be in Limbo Land.
That's true.
Doesn't he? Because he's not 100% sure about the killing in Shadar Logoth.
Yeah, he's like, oh, I definitely probably got him. Maybe.
Yeah, and that's how I feel too. Okay, and then we have Osingar Deshiva Agenor.
Yeah.
Who...
Rand thought was dead already because it's Agenor.
Because it's Agenor, but it was also Deshiva. So he already had a second chance at transmigration.
Yeah.
So that's why he's in Limbo Land for us, because I don't know if he's going to get another shot at transmigration again. He might, and then get mind trapped.
Okay, maybe.
But that seems like a big process.
Yeah.
If the Dark One wants more soldiers for him at this point,
sure,
it might bring him back.
Except for the fact that Agenor or Deshiva or Osingar was just a shitty soldier. Like,
he
really
sucked.
bad.
He really wasn't good.
No, he was a scientist.
Like, Deshiva is dead, but we don't know what's happening to the soul because it wasn't Balefire. That's the thing.
But Rand thinks he's dead because that's Agenor.
Okay.
Died Nigh the World.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Good
See, the reason why he won't tell Catherine because he's like, fuck if I know.
He doesn't know.
I got like one maybe.
2.
Okay.
And that's the same as my list, honestly.
Yeah, shoot.
Well, no, because he also thinks Lanfear, Ishamael, and Balthamel are for sure gone, and they're for sure alive.
Right.
So that's a problem.
Yikes.
Yeah, he thinks half are still...
I also would be unwilling to share my lack of knowledge.
Oh, no. Okay, you know, it's interesting. Not much has actually changed since the beginning of Knife of Dreams from this Forsaken list.
Yeah, okay, fair.
I'd like that to change soon. Thank you. Thank
you,
Brandon Sanderson. I'd like that to change. Thank you. Okay, now, back to real life over here with Noralia and Catherine.
Yeah, well, they're done with Semirog now, so let's go see the box.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so we're heading to Catherine room.
Yeah, that's it.
Because Catherine knows she owes Noralia a big favor?
One big giant favor.
One big favor since Noralia taught Catherine traveling.
Yeah. So basically, when Searles asks for something, Catherine is a little bit obliged to.
And Noralia says, "I'd like to see," quote, "the item."
Right.
Okay, so off we go. Now, as we're walking to the room, Catherine has time to think about what Noralia had said to Semirog that got any reaction.
Yeah.
And it was that Semirog seemed disappointingly human.
Right.
Shoot.
Well, because, Noralia thinks, maybe it should be something like a Murdral or twisted monster type.
Yeah.
But Semirog thinks of herself as more than human, obviously, because why wouldn't you?
Mm-hmm.
We've got the most arrogant people of all of history as the Forsaken.
Yep. But no time for thinking about that right now.
But yeah, okay.
Because we have to focus on Rand.
Right.
Who seems almost eager for the last battle. Or maybe he's just resigned to his fate.
Yeah, he's accepting it now.
Yeah, but the problem is that Rand is not ready for the last battle, as far as Catherine can tell.
Yeah.
And if Rand, as he is right now, has to face off against the Dark One, Catherine is like, oh no, the world.
Yeah, what do you think about Rand's emotional state? And should we actually be concerned like Catherine is about his emotional state facing off against the Dark One at this point?
No.
This is just a Catherine worry?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is just Rand being Rand?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. At this point, we know it's not really going to get much better, that whole sanity thing. Or at least we think.
Yeah.
And Rand thinks it's not going to get better.
Yeah.
So.
But he's a little bit, nihilistic in a sense. He's unstable.
Oh, for sure. But I think maybe you have to be a little unstable to
fight the Dark
challenge the Dark One.
In a battle of wits.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, we saw Luz Theron, who challenged the Dark One and sealed him away for 3,000 years, was pretty unstable.
It was pretty bad. Yeah. Challenge him to a battle of wits and put 2 bottles of poison in front of him.
Yeah, we just have to do slightly better than Luz Theron did.
Slightly better?
Yeah.
Just slightly?
Just slightly. Honestly, just slightly better.
Okay.
Yep.
All right.
At this point,
the bar is low.
Yes.
I guess.
Yeah. Although the bar's pretty high. That's a high better.
Yeah.
That's a high bar. Yeah. It's going to be a hard battle.
Okay. I don't even know what the battle's going to look like.
I don't.
Yeah.
I've said several times.
Maybe it'll be super easy.
I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't think it'll be easy.
Well, not right now because he's emotionally unstable.
He's going to be emotionally unstable for the rest of this series. Forever. We can just anticipate that.
All right. Okay, let's get to the box.
Okay.
Instead of talking about Rand.
Okay.
Let's talk about the box.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So now we're going to get to Catherine room. And we get a big explanation about how she has a giant trunk that's actually a decoy.
Yeah, classic move.
Because
it's great.
It's filled with just useless gold and stuff.
Yeah, well, if someone's coming to rob you, it's they go in the big trunk, they find gold.
Yeah.
And then they leave.
Yeah.
They don't look for the real treasure. That's a classic. That's a good move.
So it's actually the little lockbox that she has on her mirror stand.
Yeah.
And we get another explanation of how the lockbox is booby-trapped.
Yeah.
To explode into weaves of air, to
it's
capture
actually a
anyone
special weave, though. Yeah.
Yeah, and a super loud alarm.
Yeah, that 100 trumpets sounding playing so loud.
Now, we have heard of a box being warded before.
Oh, yeah.
And if it opens, all of the paper inside just bursts into flames.
Yeah, Swan did that with all of her... Swan did it with all of her secret Dragon Reborn documents.
But Catherine, number 1, doesn't want her stuff to be destroyed.
Right.
And number 2, wants to know who's breaking in and trying to steal her shit.
Exactly.
So that's a better alarm system.
Well, it is, but it's kind of funny though, because okay, so air, weaves of air. I'm just thinking okay, hypothetically, Forsaken or something tries to break in to your box. Can we just cut these airweaves? Number 1, is that a thing we can do? Can we get out of the airweaves?
Yeah.
And then number 2 is the alarm system's pretty good, where it's do. Come quickly, whoever's around, I guess.
Well, maybe, because it is loud alarms.
Yeah. Scare off the intruder.
Okay, what she needs to do is refine it so that only she can hear the alarm.
Everything outside the box gets burned. Like, you're going to take out a couple of maids,
No,
probably, who are, like, dusting.
Yeah.
But, you know, it's the price you got to pay.
No, I wouldn't say that. I think the alarm thing is a little bit more than it needs.
Okay.
I think probably just the person being captured so that when she comes back to her room, there's a person trapped. And
right.
Right? Because it's alerting to everybody that there's a problem.
Yeah.
To have alarm bells.
But it's just
loud
like
alarm bells
the
going.
the issue I have though is like
Alarm
in my mind.
Bells.
In my mind, so if like you're a channeler, if you're like Black Oddjar or something trying to rob Cadwin's lockbox and you get trapped by air and then no one's there, you can still channel. It's just air. You're held in place, yeah, but like it's just air. Couldn't you just like cut the weaves?
Yeah, it's not like it stills you or like shields you.
It's like none of that is implied here.
No, I think what Cadwin is doing is stopping somebody who can't channel.
Right, like just like a common thief.
A common thief.
Yeah. I was just thinking about it. I was thinking of booby traps because she does bring up like the explodey box one. Yeah. It's like I get you don't want to blow up this one or light your room on fire.
I mean, like...
okay.
Yeah, we tend to try to not...
Right.
Set our rooms on fire.
Anyways, okay. So what's in the box?
This manor house has already been through a lot, okay?
It has been. It's been through one fire.
It's already been through...
one lava person.
Yeah. Okay. I did... Okay, here's the thing.
Yeah.
So, if you go to our Discord and you see that there's a channel for every book that we've covered so far. So depending on where you are in the book series, if you're a new reader, there's like a spoiler level cutoff. So if you only want to see stuff from the first 4 books, then that's fine. And so what I've done is the general chat for every book has a name of an inn that is mentioned and is prominent in each book.
You decided to change it.
Yeah. And so for the current episode chat, I usually find an inn, but the last couple books, there haven't really been a lot of inns that we've gone to.
Yeah, at least not good ones.
So the last book I did the gardens from the Forsaken meeting.
Yeah.
And this book, somebody said, why don't you do the Burnt Manor as our general chat room?
Oh, yeah. Yep.
And I thought that was a great idea, except I did a slight variation and called it Lava Man Manor.
Yeah, it's good.
Because that's funny.
Is it too soon? The guy died like yesterday.
I know, but come on. It has to also be non-spoilery.
Yeah, that's true.
So Lava Man could be
anything. That's true.
Whereas Burnt Manor, I mean, like it could be just sort of showing up in a manor that
now people are going to know there's a Lava Man. So what does this Lava Man look like?
Exactly.
Now what'd you think he looks like?
No, literally.
Pile of lava.
Pile of lava. Now he's obsidian. Yeah. That's it.
Yeah.
He's a lava guy.
Okay.
Lava Man Manor.
Anyways,
where we are right now currently. Okay. Anyway, there is a box that has stuff in it that's important.
Yes. First thing, little man sphere.
Little man
holding sphere.
Holding a sphere.
Terangriel. Yeah.
Except it's not little.
It's about a foot long.
Yeah.
It's pretty little.
That's not little.
Fits in a box on our mirror stand.
Yeah, I know.
How big do you think a foot is? You're holding your hands so far apart right now.
Ruler.
You're
That's
like, what
one
foot
ruler.
is this big? Your hands were way further apart. You brought them together.
Okay, but still, I'm picturing like Angriel, like when you could hold in your palm.
Yeah.
Like I'm picturing this lockbox small.
Oh, it's not that small.
It's like not that small. So the whole Emmy statue?
Yeah.
The Emmys, right?
I think so.
Yeah, it's the Emmys.
Yeah.
That's what I'm picturing. But, so she has that.
Yeah. I was just looking at the bottle of vodka behind you. It's like probably roughly that size.
Yeah, that's the one for shots if anybody says
that's
something.
roughly the size of like the statue. That's bigger than
a foot. That's taller.
Yeah, no, but what I'm saying is like it's big. It's not that big though.
Okay.
If I hold that in my hand because I'm channeling all the power, like that's not that big.
No, but to have in my box, my lockbox, that's like a little tiny chest. That's not like a tiny little jewelry box, you know?
It was never said it was a tiny jewelry box.
But I also have problems picturing sizes of things.
Apparently.
And boxes, sizes.
All right.
Like a flattened cube.
Exactly.
What's that?
What the hell?
Yeah.
What are we talking about here?
Okay.
So that's the first item here. Okay. So, I mean, we could talk about the fact that she's keeping this.
She has it.
Here
her.
physically here, right here.
Well, let's talk about the thing she doesn't have with her.
Oh, yeah.
It's Calendar.
Yeah. Well, that's being studied right now. So that's actually, there's fair points right now.
Studied?
Yes. So she's got a couple of acquaintances.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, well, she says it.
Well, I didn't remember that she said it.
Okay, so she knows some stuff about Calendar, and presumably... I thought it was just
being kept by people she trusts.
No, it's being studied, because presumably we do know Calendar probably has some type of flaw in it or something. Like,
Ooh.
There's issues with Calendar.
What's it called?
Like a buffer. Yeah. That's like part of the issue. So there's issues with Calendar. So Cathrine is getting some of her allies to try to figure out some information about it. And also they're studying via DAM the others that she sent off. So she has some people who are working in the background on the science side of Wheel of Time. They're trying to science that out.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
We should get Elaine in on that.
Probably.
And Avienda.
The two who are can
who
learn
are good
about
at terangrials and angrials and shit?
Probably, yeah.
Those are the ones.
Yep, those would be the ones. Anyways.
I wonder, okay, so this is a complete side thing.
Sure.
Avienda has a talent for knowing what every single thing he does.
Yeah.
And Elaine has a talent for knowing and recreating.
Like doing it, making it
happen. But we didn't hear about anything, the talent for Avienda before they did their first sister bonding.
Oh, okay.
I wonder if Avienda
love it. Okay.
got some sort of power talent in the bonding. The first
love it.
Because it's, it's similar, isn't it?
It seems similar. It's not the same, but it is similar.
Similar.
Yeah.
Why not?
I'd have to look on the timeline of that. That's something for a reread.
Hey!
Oh, man, we can do that on a reread.
Oh, for sure they were already first sister bonded by the time we got that little bear.
I know, but if there's any tidbits about any time Avienda was maybe around any sort of terrain, that's what the point of a reread is now you reread the whole series looking for one specific thing.
Write that down.
I'm not going to write it down.
I might.
I'm going to remember it because I remember everything always.
No, you don't.
Yeah.
I'm going to write it down. Okay, I did that just to make note that I said it.
Yeah.
Now, another item in Catswain's lockbox, which has to be pretty big at this point, is the black metallic item that's made for a man.
Yes. Yep.
So Catherine has this, and she thinks about how Rand had forbidden the testing of the collar.
Yes.
Like the man one.
Yeah, so these are the ones that were in the box when they took Semirog, and there was a bunch of them.
Yeah.
So she kept one, and then she sent the other ones to those other friends with Calendar to go and study.
Yeah. And she thinks it's kind of crazy that they're not going to test this out, because the first thing that she did when she got a hold of the regular Shan-Chen Adam was put it on.
Yeah.
With a couple of friends she trusts to get her out of it if she couldn't get out of it herself. But she's like, we gotta look for weaknesses in this. If our enemy has this and can use it against me, we should study it.
Yeah, which I actually agree with. It's a pretty good idea to make sure that people know how to break out of this. And unfortunately, she also thinks couldn't figure out how to do it.
Yeah.
But
at least other Aes Sedai now know how to open it from the outside.
Yes. So it's even if you can't get your own off, people around you know how to get it off immediately.
Yes.
So there is a benefit of that, and maybe we should do the same with the male versions. But then when she brought it up to Rand, he was like, no,
absolutely no. We're
crazy
hiding
box,
it from everybody. We're never talking about it.
Yeah. So it's a whole thing.
Yeah.
But Catherine is determined to figure out a way to test it. So she's keeping it here.
She's keeping it.
She's keeping it here, physically.
Yeah.
It's okay, sure.
Yeah. And now Nynaeve claims that she knows a little bit about it, but won't say how she knows.
Right.
And is that just from the Tenchiko,
yeah, because she also brings up, and it was supposed to be dropped to the bottom of the ocean.
It was supposed to be destroyed,
but I didn't technically see that happen, so I don't know if it actually did happen.
And it's possible that the Shan-Chen have now recreated it.
That's right? What happened.
Oh, 100%. Oh, this isn't the original one?
Well, probably not, because remember, Suroth got it.
Yeah.
And then Suroth is no longer who she is.
No, that's true.
Because Semirog got it.
A part of me thought that this one that they have, that Semirog had, was the original one.
Semirog had a bunch of them, though.
Oh.
Yeah. There's more than one male Adam.
Okay, so then, 100%.
Yeah. So, like, I mean, hypothetically, maybe this is the original, but, like, I don't know.
No. Yeah. I didn't. Okay. No, they did 100% replicate it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because, like, in the box that they took out, there's like, oh, no, there's a bunch of bracelets. How many people were they going to get?
Oh, right. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Yep.
Yeah.
It wasn't just for Rand.
Yeah, you're making me second guess myself now.
No, I'm just not good at remembering.
Like, man, there was a bunch, right? There was
details.
A whole thing. There was like
no, I have so many things to remember, and now we're in book 12.
Yeah.
So like
well, just like details, just remember them,
just
right?
Remember every detail you've ever read about anything.
Remember every detail, and then we're fine.
Oh, okay.
Right?
No, it's what I have you for. You remember every detail.
But when you question me, it's like maybe I'm wrong.
No, I think you're right.
I need to go back and look though another time. We don't have to stop now, but it's fine. It's fine for now. We can finish this chapter.
Okay.
I'll make sure that I'm actually right in the things that I say.
I think you are.
Okay.
Yeah.
And we'll go from there.
Okay. All right. Now this chapter is going to end with Noralia saying, "We have to do something about this man. He's grown worse since the last time we've met."
Yeah. So, I mean, that's fair. He's not doing well.
100% has.
Yeah.
And Cathrine agrees. So they make a plan for the good of everyone on how to help Rand. Because the last time they had a plan together was, we have to soften him. We have to make him laugh and cry and feel feelings and emotions and not be so hard.
And I mean, maybe we still are on that same, like, we need to get him back to, like, a regulated
human?
Yeah. Like, not all doom and gloom.
Good luck. We all wish you good luck.
Yeah.
Good luck.
Yeah.
Good luck with that, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we'll see how that goes.
Okay. So the thing that Noralia wanted to see was the male Adam?
Yes. Well, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I'm just like, okay. Because a box opens and it's like...
There's two things.
It feels anticlimactic because we already have seen these things. There's nothing new for us, right?
It's just interesting that Cathrine is keeping...
I'm just making sure I didn't miss something.
No, that's what it was. It's just interesting that Cathrine is keeping both here, right? And that she is still keeping them to study the Adam, even though Rand was like, don't.
Right. And both of these things can't just be like, ooh, paper destroyed with fire. So obviously she has other alarms and stuff on it.
We should hope so.
Right? Because like, pieces of paper with valuable information, that can just go up in flames. But the male Adam and the terangrial for the largest power source in the world for men.
Yeah.
Like, we can't just destroy those.
Right.
So, I guess she had to come up with something else. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Now, next episode is one chapter.
Yeah, the next 2 episodes, we're doing 1 chapter each just based on number of pages. And then we'll get back into some doubles.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds good. And our announcement.
Yeah, on Discord, the schedule for February is up.
Okay, cool. Check that out.
Yeah, I mapped it out. We will be done this book by the beginning of June.
Ooh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's faster than you originally thought.
Yeah, we're doing a lot more doubles. Remember how you were like harassing me?
Like,
we gotta read more. I want to go faster. And I was like, no. But you're like, yeah, do it. So I was like, fine.
Well, that was just for that one specific chapter where it was like 10 pages and nothing happens in it. And I was like, how are we supposed to have an episode on this?
Yeah. No, I mapped it out and it's going to be fun. It's going to be a fun book. There's going to be 37 episodes in this book. So
fun. Okay, that's good.
Yep.
And we're going all the way to June.
Yeah. Assuming nothing changes, of course. Like, I've mapped it out as best I can. So.
Yeah.
Pretty sure.
Okay. Fun. Sounds good. Well, before you go ahead and finally make a frickin' decision, I'm going to say that this is part of the pattern now.
Yeah, it's part of the pattern.
Thanks so much for listening to this episode. The Wheel Weaves is hosted and edited by Dani and Brett, produced by Dani and Brett with Passion Socks, Cody Feltz, Benjamin, Jamie Young, Megan, Jared Berg, Ricky Morissette, Lance Barden, Adam, Mozyme, Michelle Forbes, MKM, Antoine Benoit, Lawrence Bradley, Colby T, and Gabby Young. With music by Audionautics. Please be sure to check out our Patreon page if you are interested in supporting us and the podcast. We'd love to send you some Patreon exclusive merchandise as a thank you. Plus, you'll gain access to our episodes earlier than everyone else. And at the time of recording, we have over 45 bonus episodes for your listening pleasure. Find all that and more at patreon.com/thewheelweavespodcast. For general information about our show, like information on how to send us shot glasses, how to join our Discord, Discord, how to get in touch with us, you can visit thewheelweavespodcast.com. And as always, please be sure to give us that 5-star review because it really does make a huge difference in helping other people find us. And if you write us a really nice review and put your Instagram or Twitter handle in the review on Apple Podcasts, we will be picking people at random to be giving out some merchandise like stickers and bookmarks, and we'll send them out to those people as a huge thank you. Now be sure to tell a friend, Riyadh, because referrals really are the best compliment. Thanks again for listening. This really is part of the pattern now.